Hi guys, I'm Rochelle and I'm a Ravenclaw, and today we've reached the end. This is part 7, the final part to #Sorry Not Sorry Bank Account book haul series. I've got the final 2 bags here, ready to show you, and to then stare upon this giant stack of books that I have got. I look at them and I am a lot more terrified than I was. You guys are probably wondering why I keep looking over there. I am tempted to show you, but I'm also tempted to not show you because it just covers my insanity. I have all of the stacks of books from previous parts stacked up together, and let me tell you, that stack is taller than I am, so what have I done? But this fine. It's fine. It's all gonna be okay. I'm going to read all of these books at some point. Anyway, for those of you that are watching part 7 without having watched the previous 6 parts, I will leave links in the description box below to all of the previous parts. I'll also probably put all of these in a playlist in case you want to marathon this series for some reason. I hope you've got to spare like 3 hours. This is the final set of books that I brought home from the Lifeline Bookfest. If you want to know more about what that is, I will direct you to the first video. So the final 2 bags of books are these 2. So we've reached the end, and now we're just gonna open them up. Still got my handy dandy scissors, because I'm smart and I planned ahead more this time. So I've just opened the first bag, and the first book in the first bag is Enchanter. This is book 2 of the Access trilogy. This is by Sarah Douglas. Somewhere in here is book 1 and 3. So I'll just wait until I pull those out to tell you more about this series. But I have the full trilogy. Book 2 is Enchanter. The next book in this bag is Heart of Gold, which is the 2nd volume of The Laws of Magic by Michael Pryor. Over to the left of me, I've got books 1 and 3. Book 1 is Blaze of Glory, so I'll grab that and tell you a bit about the series. This is a middle grade series, and this was really a cover buy because for those of you that don't know, I love phoenixes, I love the symbolism of them, and I want to get a phoenix tattoo. So I saw this book and was like, that's got a phoenix on it, that's mine now. So I grabbed this and the 3rd one last year and found the 2nd this year, so that's very helpful. There's a magical and political storm brewing, and Aubrey Fitzwilliam is making sure he's right in the center of it. Aubrey Fitzwilliam is the son of a prominent ex-prime minister. He's also brilliant at magic, but he's stuck at boarding school. At least he has his best friend George there to back him up. George would follow Aubrey anywhere, and with Aubrey's talent for thinking up daring schemes that will get them both into trouble, that's no easy thing to do. At a weekend shooting party at Prince Albert's country estate, the boys find themselves in a hotbed of political intrigue. They discover a golem, a magical creature built to perform one task: to kill Prince Albert. Aubrey and George are hailed as heroes for foiling the attempt on the prince's life. But who sent the golem, and why? Aubrey is far too curious to let the authorities handle this one, and he and George start investigating. This was shortlisted to win a bunch of awards, so I know it's a middle grade. I'll fly through it. This is just under 400 pages, and the font is really quite big. So I hope to marathon this series soon. And then the next book in this bag is Ruin by John Gwynne. This is the 3rd book in the Faithful and the Fallen quartet. So now I've got books 2 and 3. I was originally collecting the tall editions, but it is almost completely impossible to find the first one in those, so I've started recollecting this series in the short editions. The first one I didn't see at Bookfest, but hopefully I will soon. And the last one has just come out in the paperback form, so it's not surprising that I didn't find it. So I'm going to quickly grab the synopsis off Goodreads for you guys for the first one. A black sun is rising. Young Corbin watches enviously as boys become warriors under King Brunin's rule, learning the art of war. He yearns to wield his sword and spear to protect his king's realm, but that day will come all too soon. Only when he loses those he loves will he learn the true price of courage. The banished lands has a violent past where armies of men and giants clashed shields in battle, the earth running dark with their heart's blood. Although the giant clans were broken in ages past, their ruined fortresses still scar the land. But now giants stir anew, and the very stones weep blood, and there are sightings of giant worms. Those who can still read the signs see a threat far greater than the ancient wars. Sorrow will darken the world as angels and demons make it their battlefield. Then there will be a war to end all wars. High King Aquilus summons his fellow kings to council, seeking an alliance in this time of need. Some are skeptical, fighting their own border skirmishes against pirates and giants, but prophecy indicates darkness and light will demand two champions, the Black Sun and the Bright Star. They would be wise to seek out both, for if the Black Sun gains ascendancy, mankind's hopes and dreams will fall to dust. So that's book 3 in that series. Hopefully I can get book 1 and 4 next time. I've read the first 2 books already, so I just have to continue on with that one. And then I've got Starman, which is book 3. And then I've got Battle Axe, which is book 1 of this trilogy. So I'm just going to read you the back of Battle Axe. 1,000 years ago, the Akarites drove the Forbidden from their land. Now strange sightings along Achar's northern border foreshadow their return. The barbaric tribes of the Ravensbund are pouring south with tales of fearsome beings who feed on the terror of their prey. Winter has come early, and with it the promise of war. Axis, bastard son of the dead Princess Ravika, is sent to the battlefront at Gorin Fort with his elite axe-wielders. Once there, he must hand over command to his hated half-brother, Bornheld. But traveling north, Axis falls in love with Faraday, Bornheld's betrothed, and meets 2 priests who challenge the very essence of his beliefs. The sentinels walk the land, the tree friend has been found. The people of the plough, the wing, and the horn must set aside their differences and unite under one leader against the evil rising in the north. Sarah Douglas is an Australian author. Again, I'm trying to read more Australian authors because I've been pretty bad at that recently. So an Australian fantasy author I'm definitely down with. So that was all of the books in the first bag. I hope you guys are ready for this final bag. So the first book in this bag is Tricato by Joel Shepherd. This is book 3 in A Trial of Blood and Steel. I already own this series. I originally picked all of these up also at a book fest, but during my reading of this 3rd book, I was in the middle of traveling, and unfortunately this book got very, very damaged. A water bottle opened in my bag, and it was basically ruined. So I saw this and I was like, I'm just going to replace my copy because I did really enjoy this series. So now I have this one. You guys probably see the series in a lot of my videos because it's right at eye level from where I film. So the first book is Sasha. Sasha is a fighter, the like of which the highland country of Lenaean has never seen. Spurning her royal heritage to be raised by the great warrior Kesli, Sasha's exquisite swordplay astonishes all those who witness it, but she is still young, untested in battle, and often led by her rash temper. In the complex world of Lenaean loyalties, her defiant willfulness is attracting the wrong kind of attention. Lenaean is a land almost divided by its 2 beliefs, the Vernathan of the ruling class and the pagan Gorinye, amongst whom Sasha now lives. The Gorinye value swordplay and honor and come to see Sasha as the great spirit, the Sinich, who will unite them. But Sasha is still searching for what she believes and must choose her side carefully. When the Udallan people, the symbol of Gonorrhea pride and courage, are attacked by Vernathan forces, Sasha will face her moment of testing. How will she act? Is she ready to leave? Can she be the savior the Gorinye want her to be? So this was a very good series. Highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure Joel Shepherd is an Australian or maybe a New Zealand author. Joel Shepherd was born in Adelaide, which is a city in Australia, so yay Australian authors. Alright, the next book in this bag is The Baker's Boy, which is the Book of Words Part 1 by J.V. Jones. This was recommended to me based on the fact that I'm really enjoying my read-through of the Realm of the Elderling series by Robin Hobb. I picked this one up because it's called The Book of Words, and I'm like, yes. And on this cover, I don't know how well you can see it, there's like a little library style scene, so I was like, hell yeah. At Castle Harvel, where King Leskeith lies dying, two fates collide. In her regal suite, young Meliandra rebels against her forced betrothal to the sinister Prince Kyloch. In the kitchens, an apprentice named Jack is terrified by his sudden uncontrolled power to work miracles. Together they flee, stalked by a sorcerer who has connived for decades to control the crown, committing supernatural murders to advance his schemes. And a wondrous epic of darkness and beauty begins. I also really liked this cover, so I'm going to try to read that. Alright, the next book in this series is The Novice by Taran Matharu. This is Summoner Book 1. I've seen this all over Goodreads and the internet. This has been recommended to me by Goodreads and the ebook company that I prefer, so I saw this first book and decided to grab it and give it a try. Only his power to summon demons can save the Empire. Fletcher is just an orphan training as a blacksmith's apprentice when he discovers he has the rare ability to summon demons from another world. Now one of the gifted few, Fletcher will be taught the lost art of summoning at the Vokans Academy. Fletcher must endure deadly lessons to gain control of his gift and prepare for the end of the year tournament that will determine his fate in the Empire's war against the Orcs. But sinister forces infect, new friendships and rivalries grow. With no one but his demon Ignatius by his side, Fletcher must decide where his loyalties lie. The fate of the Empire is in his hands. Looking forward to this. It's got quite big font and it's got a bunch of, it's got like a bestiary in the back with lots of drawings and stuff for things that you could summon, etc. And this is just under 400 pages, so I imagine that will be a pretty quick read. I'm pretty sure that that's a young adult fantasy, so I'm gonna give that a shot. Is that also by an Australian author? Let's find out. No, he's British. That's fine. We'll accept this. And then the next book in this bag is Sparrow Hill Road by Seanan McGuire. This is book 1 in the Ghost Story series. So when the crossroads call and your faith is thin and you're afraid you might explode, go and talk to the girl in the green silk gown who walks on Sparrow Hill Road. Rose Marshall died in 1952 in Buckley Township, Michigan, run off the road by a man named Bobby Cross, a man who had sold his soul to live forever and intended to use her death to pay the price of his immortality. Trouble was, he didn't ask Rose what she thought of the idea. It's been more than 60 years since that night, and she's still 16, and she's still running. They have names for her all over the country. The girl in the diner, the phantom prom date, the girl in the green silk gown. Mostly she just goes by Rose, a hitchhiking ghost girl with her thumbs out and her eyes fixed on the horizon, trying to outrace a man who never sleeps, never stops, and never gives up on the idea of claiming what's his. She's the angel of the overpass. She's the darling of the truck stops. She's going to figure out a way to win her freedom. After all, it's not like it can kill her. You can't kill what's already dead. When the night hails down and you're afraid that you'll never get what you're owed, go talk to the girl in the green silk gown who died on Sparrow Hill Road. So yeah, I saw this and I really enjoyed Discount Armageddon, which is the first book in another of Seanan McGuire's series. That I read very recently, so I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick that up. So I grabbed that, and the last two books go together. So we've reached the last two books of the hashtag Sorry Not Sorry book haul. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for the end? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm so over filming. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I have been filming these back to back, and the first 4 were filmed in one day, and then I filmed this next 3 the next day. So I'm done with this. I'm done talking. I'm gonna go and enjoy my ability to read as soon as I've told you about these books. And those books are Hood and Scarlet by Stephen R. Lorehead. I have heard a lot of stuff about Stephen R. Lorehead. He is really famous for retellings, and this is book 1 and book 2 in the King Raven, I think it's a trilogy, but I'm not sure. And this is a retelling of Robin Hood, so I grabbed these. I'll put that there while I read you the back of the first one. A new reign of terror has brought fear and hatred to the land, while an ancient legend stirs in the heart of the wildwood. The Norman conquest of England is complete, but for one young man the battle has only just begun. When Bran ap Brychan's father is murdered by Norman soldiers, he flees to London seeking justice. The journey is long and hard, and the suffering of those he meets along the way fuels his anger. With his demands dismissed, Bran has no choice but to return home, but a worse fate still awaits him there. His lands have been confiscated and his people subjugated by a brutal and corrupt regime. Should Bran flee for his life or protect his people by surrendering to his father's murderers? The answer perhaps is known only to the King Raven, a creature of myth and magic born of the darker shadows in the forest. So yeah, I grabbed both of these because, again, they were sitting right next to each other and Goodreads had been telling me to look at them for ages, so I picked them up and they're both in super beautiful condition. So, we reached the end. We can all move on with our lives now. I mean, you can all move on with your lives. I've still got to clear space for all of these and do a big ass unhaul that I'll have to film for you of all the books I had to get rid of to make room for all of this. So I'm imagining that you guys will see some changes in my normal background very, very soon. I hope that you enjoyed this series of book hauls. I hope that I don't ever have to do such a long book haul for you guys again, but if you enjoyed this, please give me a like or subscribe if you haven't already and you've somehow watched all 7 of these videos. Let me know what you thought of any or all of the books that I have mentioned. I have not counted how many books there are, and I'm very highly debating not doing so because I don't want to know how many books I've just added to my TBR, because there's a lot. There's so many. I'm gonna go, guys. I'm gonna get reading, start working on breaking some books out of my TBR. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and I hope that you are having a magical day. Bye!